Welcome to The Sarah Scoop Show. It's time to get the scoop with Sarah.
Hi, my name is Ben Ayres, and I am an actor, and I am currently promoting Chronicle Mysteries #5, Helped to Death. Okay, this is our favorite one, and we find Alex and Drew at a self-help retreat, and they investigate why there's been so much controversy and tragedy under the supervision of Billy Garrett, who is the prolific life coach that runs it, played by Lachlan Monroe. And when one of the retreat participants ends up dead, Alex and Drew and the rest of the Chronicle team, and they're remote, we have to call into them when we can from a satellite phone. We have to seek the culprit amidst, Billy's legion of devoted followers and advocates and inner circle before one of them or us becomes the next victim. It's very contained. So at this retreat, there's only a certain amount of suspects it can be, and that's exciting. And also, we're possibly not only up for being a victim, but we could potentially, we're potentially thought of as the guilty ones as well. Well, I think it was our last one. We had an almost kiss, and then a dog barked, which interrupted their kiss. And I can say that there are no dogs in this one. However, there could be other animals, but there's definitely some more sparks between the two of them. And I think the fact that they've been thrust into a situation like this together really allows them the time to grow and discover, the intricacies of each other, and their relationship blooms a little bit. Oh, it was, the whole thing was really a lot of fun, mostly just because what I loved was that the characters themselves were really thrust, out of their comfort zone, away from technology that they would normally use in order to crack a case. And they were stuck out in the dirt and the mud on a mountain, and we were scaling mountains and cuddling up by fires. And what I love about Allie and this shoot in particular was the fact that it was raining, really muddy, wet. Weather was not awesome, but we had so much fun shooting in it, and I think it will really show on camera that we really went all for it, and just really thrust and put ourselves out there and got dirty for the characters in the story. Yeah, it was a gorgeous retreat that actually, due to the fact that COVID has happened, is shut down, because normally it's very, very busy and there's a lot of camps that run year round. But because of the current situation, we were able to go shoot there. So, one of the great things about the shoot was that we got to be at this location for the entirety of the shoot, other than the 2 days at the Harrington Chronicle. The rest of it was, out of this retreat. So it felt like we were at camp while filming it, and that was special. It's not too often you get to do that. Oftentimes you're moving around to so many locations, but to find home and get to shoot there every day was a real treat. We were really lucky about that. Ultimately, I think everybody's just going to be really excited to try. It's my favorite thing about these movies is to figure out who did the whodunit, and this one in particular is very intricate and fun. We've got a great cast of characters, and I think that people are just really going to enjoy trying to solve that with us, while we are also like I said, have this blooming romance, possibly due to the fact that we're just stuck together. And it was really fun to discover some fun moments, but also it was, Melissa did a great job introducing some stuff into the script, which I think will really play out in the long run into future episodes. Well, I mean, we hope so, if everybody tunes in and loves it and wants more, but we definitely have some more ideas for future episodes. Yeah. It's the best. I mean, the greatest thing about this job in general is just the amount of people we get to meet, and getting to be brought on to that first time to work with Ali. And I was a fan of her before. I knew who she was, and the fact that she's a producer on it and is very active as a writer and a creator on set. Just I was so impressed, but happy to work with somebody that collaborative, that is so professional and just comes in every day with the best attitude and is constantly striving to make the show better. And we laugh all the time. We're constantly giving each other homework of episodes of true crime podcasts to listen to and docuseries to watch. In fact, this one that we're filming, this one that's about to air, was an idea that we started kicking around while we were filming the first one. Was a podcast we were listening to. So that was kind of fun to see that develop over time into us eventually filming it. And yeah, I just love working with her. We just have a lot of fun, and it's cool that we get to film these and go away. And we think of it more as a TV series as opposed to these independent movies that kind of happen, which happens within the Hallmark universe, So this just feels like the fifth episode of kind of the first season. We figured like 6 episodes was the first season. So it's so nice to get to jump back into the world with the chemistry we've built since that first movie, and see where it goes and continue to grow it. I watched it a bit with my grandma when I was younger. Yeah, so I did know who she was, and I've actually found it super interesting. I ask her questions about it all the time. I love to hear the stories about filming that show and just how long, just the hours they would work, 6 days a week, every single, like for years. She was on that show for how many years was she on it? 20, some 30 years, like an incredible amount of time, and hardly had any time off. And I was always struck by the fact that she would spend more time on set than she would in her life and live in that character more than she would in her real life. And I was always interested to know to what effect that had on her, especially because in the world of soap operas, you're playing the most extreme, heightened of stakes at all times. So everything in her life is normal, but she's always in a state of intense fear, or she's, she's the bad one. And so it just sounded like a lot of fun and a lot of work and very hard. And I really respect her for doing that show for so long and being amazing at it. Well, yeah, it's kind of like, James Franco went and did soap operas for a while. And I think he was like, oh, like, I'm a good actor. I'm going to roll in there and I'll definitely be able to like bring the chops that I've learned in film and stuff and apply that to soap operas and elevate the material and all that. And you realize that once you get there, there's no, you're shooting 90 pages in a day. You only get one take. You can't stop what the lighting looks like. There's no, there's no your coverage, my coverage. It's just all on one big shot. So, and then the music swells and there's nothing you can do about the music. So as much as he had this idea of he'd be able to bring something else, regardless, he still looked like he existed within the world of soaps. And listening to her tell me that they've got to learn that amount of dialogue every single day, day in and day out. And, if you ask for another take, even once, let alone twice or 3 times, you're gone. And that stress, man, wow. I was like, it gave me anxiety just thinking about it. Yeah, hands down, right when I read it, and I texted Ali right away, I'm like, I love that scene. And the two of them kind of get lost and trapped out in the woods, and they've got to spend the night there. And they both have to protect one another, and they start a fire, and they play some fun word games and stuff, and get closer than we've seen them, but also in a really mature, comfortable way, which I really thought was fun. And there's just some great banter. But that scene in general by the fire, I think everybody's really going to love it. Well, we've talked about it before. I'd like to see Drew attempt to do some of the podcasting with her. It's been fun to see him be put in situations he doesn't like and then thrive. Like he really, we've set up that he doesn't like the woods, and yet in this one in particular, he goes out and actually does really well in the woods, and actually quite loves it. And I think he's also been very trepidatious about being on air. And I think that he would find that he really enjoys it. And we've talked about, and it's another thing that would bring them together and create more of a unity, kind of a team atmosphere for them to continue to collaborate with one another. So it'd be interesting to see them work more closely in that respect. Yeah, and it is a massive world, and it takes a while to understand that it is if you know nothing about it. So I was semi-aware that I knew it existed, but I didn't know to the degree. And really, it has been a real snowball effect over the years. It has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and people love it, and I can understand why. It's a great network, and you turn it on, you know exactly what you're going to get, and there really aren't any networks like that anymore. And when I originally got offered, the first one was Love by Chance, and that was just such a fun movie to shoot. And I didn't realize it was like a studio system where a lot of the same actors continue to do movies there. And I guess I lucked out in that one did well enough that I then got a call to do Falling for Vermont with Julie Gonzalo. And then there were a couple Christmas movie opportunities that came up, but I was shooting a series at the time in Toronto. So I'd done those first two, and then I got a call to do Chronicles. So at that time, they were like, it's for movies and mysteries, which I didn't realize there were separate entities underneath the umbrella of Hallmark. And they were like, it's like a series. It's a series of movies where you guys would play the same characters. And I'm like, well, that sounds fantastic. I hadn't even heard of that type of concept before. So, and then, I went out, I think we shot 3 back to back. So before any had aired. And then from there, eventually got to do a Christmas movie with Rachel Lee Cook last year. And then the latest one with Nikki DeLoach this year, which was super fun to shoot. And then now just our 5th installment of Chronicles. So I've really, I guess I've done 4 regular Hallmark ones and 5 of the movies and mysteries. So it happens quick. You're kind of in, and then you're in, and then, you get a phone call and they're like, they need you in Vancouver next week. And then you're on a plane and you're out there. Well, and I think that's amazing. And that's what, that's what's incredible about, Michelle and Randy and Penny is they're, Penny, the fact that she can really just, Penny, do you know who Penny Perry is? She's the casting director there. So she's the one who matches everybody up, so she really knows who's best suited for one another. And, I just never second guess. Anytime, I get partnered up with somebody, I've had the best time, and I've just been so appreciative. And I honestly don't think there are any negative people at Hallmark, because everybody I've worked with, and, the TCA, like everything about them is all about love and family and spreading joy. And, other than having to work as quickly as we do, there's no stress at all kind of on sets or with other people, and it's just a great environment to be in. And there is no studio system like that anymore, where we can be in 3 movies in 1 year with different partners, and it's just like, that's fine, like everybody's okay with that, or be partnered up with the same person multiple times with completely different stories. We wrapped out on Cranberry Christmas, went right into Chronicle Mysteries, and then I did right into an episode of The Good Doctor, and then flew back to Toronto for Christmas. And I've been really happy just spending time with the family, because it was a busy year, and there are a lot of opportunities upcoming. Nothing kind of locked in right now, but I know it's going to be another great year, and I'm looking forward to see what 2021 has to offer.
Thank you for watching The Sarah Scoop Show. Head to sarahscoop.com for more.